What's up, guys? Welcome to the show. So this week we are definitely going to be talking with some great people. Um, Special guest is on. I would also like to throw it out there. I did receive my free for me Ulti-Pack bundles. So if you guys don't know what that is, roll on over to ultisubs.com. Get yourself right here these free. You got sour rainbow candy, which I believe tastes like cotton candy. I'm not sure. Sour watermelon, that's hydration. Gamer Pop, I've actually had this on my stream, on my my Twitch stream. Amazing. Amazing with Sprite. And this is my personal favorite. I've talked about this one so many times, it's unreal. This is a raspberry lemonade. So, once again, go over to ultisubs.com, use free for me. That is free for me, the number 4. Don't try to type 4. Anyways, like I said, tonight we are going to be talking about our struggles from when we hit rock bottom to working our way up. Now, I am not where I want to be. I will say that right now. I will probably never get to where I want to be. And the reason that is because what I am hoping to obtain, I will never even know about in this life. My goals are not for me. My goals are for my next generation, not my kids, not their kids, but the next kids. Remember, guys, tough times bring strong men. Strong men bring easy times. Easy times brings weak men. And the cycle continues. So remember to teach your kids to always be strong and tough, no matter what time it is. Whether it's easy times or tough times, always remember to teach your kids to be strong. Now, with that said, I'm going to be bringing up the 2 special guests, one of which are... All right, here we go. Welcome in, Chaz. Oh, that was great. That was great. Y'all can unmute now.
Yes.
That was awesome. Now, Chaz, if you guys do not know, is the president of FSB Initiative org.org. He does outreaches for homeless veterans. Am I right? You're muted.
Yes.
I wish I could unmute you guys myself, so that way I'm like, there you go. You're good. So what we were talking about, prior to jumping in here, other than questions that should not be asked, and I will not allow to be asked. We were talking a little bit about FSB Initiative. What is your main reasoning for starting FSB Initiative?
So in 2016, I became a homeless veteran. Never in a million years did I think I would become homeless. Had the world by the cojones, had everything I ever wanted, and then life smacked me pretty damn hard. And I ended up homeless. So I ended up going in a couple months into my homelessness. I found out about a program called the GPD program, went into that program, and I did this out in New Mexico. I'm not from that area. That's where I ended up. I lived in Vegas for 15 years. So
I live there.
I wanted to transfer back east, back home to where my family was. So
Cassie.
I got into a program in Delaware. And the program in Delaware was one of the worst possible programs on this planet. They basically stuck us in a room for a year and said, get yourself right.
Yeah.
And I knew that wasn't the right way to do it. So I turned around and swore right then and there that we were going to do something better and make a better program. And that's where the FSB, which stands for Forward Support Base, that's where it became.
For you non-military, yeah. FSB
it was my vision.
Gotcha.
Right. So that became my vision. And me,
I think we hear your baby hippo.
Buddies, yep. It became my goal. Yep. So, the idea behind it was to just bring awareness originally to the homeless veterans programs that and about all the homeless that are out there. There's 48,000 homeless veterans right now.
Yes.
By statistics, I think it's higher than that, and 1.4 million at risk.
Okay. I can almost guarantee it's higher than that.
So, oh yeah. Because we're proud when we're homeless. We don't want to tell people we're veterans.
Well, you also got to
United
think
Health.
of how many veterans that are not even registered with the VA and all that.
Right.
You know, so
Well-
of course there's definitely going to be more because most of us don't even want to even talk about the military anymore.
Right.
Yeah, depending on what you went through in the military, there's a good chance there ain't no way you're going to talk about it. If you were treated like shit in the military, you're not going to talk about it. You don't want that shit brought up. But anyways, go ahead.
Right.
Sorry.
No, so again, in 2017, we went out and we were talking about our struggles. I was talking about also how I almost became one of the 22. And, you know, people were like, hey, you should, you know, start thinking about what you could do and expand on this. And that's when we started doing the outreaches. So the outreaches were, you know, knowing that I've seen how these other programs work and they set up a table somewhere in their town square. And if you're a homeless veteran, we can help. Like, no, that's not where they're at. You have to go out into the woods. You have to go deep into the woods. You have to go into the
real quick. I actually want to show
this-
something about that because you're going to bring it up real quick. I definitely want to show this. This is actually your website, and if I'm not mistaken, you actually post this kind of stuff.
Yes.
Hello,
This is actually him right here.
we're from the FSB initiative. Are there any homeless veterans back here? Is there any homeless veterans in these tents? Then if you want to get out of the street, we can help you. That's all we can do. In 2016, I was actually a homeless veteran. I was in New Mexico. I was down on my luck, and another homeless guy told me about a homeless veterans program that was available. Literally the very next day, I was off the street. I was in the program there for 8 months and transferred to Delaware, and I realized it was being ran horribly. And I swore right then and there that I was going to do better. I was going to make a better program.
Off the street and onto their feet. That is our only goal.
Okay, I'm going to stop it right there. For you guys that actually would like to go watch that video, please go over to fsbinc.org, or you can find their Facebook page. I believe it's the same way, right? On Facebook, FSB
No,
Inc.
it's FSB Initiative Inc. on Facebook.
There you
And
go.
our TikTok is the same thing. So
Which
that's
for those of you guys that have me on Facebook, go ahead and don't be afraid to ask me about it. I do have a post up from them, I believe, that I shared onto my personal profile. This is now I've said it from the get-go. I will never, ever put an organization on this podcast that I don't truly believe in. And in order for me to believe in you and know that you're actually going to do what you say you're going to do, I mean, you can ask Chaz right now. I watched him on TikTok when I was advocating for 22 a day. He's not just one of those guys that's out there trying to make money. He's not out there trying to get clout. He is literally out there trying to push the true narrative of getting homeless veterans off the streets. You know, this guy is the president of his company. His company is literally a volunteer based. He doesn't make any money from it. Everything he makes from for donations on FSB or even his TikTok gifts and all that, they go straight back into FSB. He's one of the very few people that I've met that is not afraid. I don't care if it's live, anywhere. He will open up his laptop and show where every dollar has gone. And me, if you are that transparent to me, in my opinion, you definitely deserve all the bounties that should come with what you're trying to do. Now, Chaz, go. When you started FSB, it started based on your own experiences, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
No,
There's our bank
we
account.
can't. We can't see nothing, bro. That thing's bright.
Can't see shit.
Damn it. No,
It's all
you
good.
see, you guys know on TikTok, I do it constantly.
Oh yeah. If you guys don't know who he is on TikTok, go hit him up. FSB.
Initiative Inc.
Yes,
On TikTok,
Initiative
right.
Inc.
Right.
On TikTok. I believe.
Right.
Yeah, that's what it is. FSB Initiative Inc. Yeah, you're right.
FSB _ Initiative _ Inc. So
I was actually getting ready to look it up.
Again, we are a 100% all volunteer nonprofit organization. Nobody gets paid now or ever. Actually, our number 2 bylaw is nobody will ever get paid. And I did
Yeah.
that for a reason. And the reason being is there are too many of these nonprofits out there where their CEO, they're making, $250,000, $500,000, whatever, buying new cars. What could that money have gone to in the program? Where we're opposite. 90 cents of every dollar you donate goes to help the homeless veteran. And by that, when we'll get into that in a few minutes, our overhead is minimal. We have a truck, we have the insurance, we have a trailer, we have the insurance on the trailer. Then we have a storage unit and a post office box in Delaware, because that's where we set up the nonprofit originally, because that's where I was in the bad one. And like even the phone, even my FSB phone, I donate that every month. That's one of my donations. So, and because I'm president and CEO and co-founder, I am no more important than the newest volunteer that came out today. Again, we are all volunteers, and we will always all be all volunteers. And I will never change.
With that said, you're definitely not afraid to tell someone that you're going to put your foot in their ass.
Right.
I'm good with that. Right. If you can't listen, if you can't tell your volunteers that if they don't fucking straighten up that you're going to put your foot in their ass, what the hell's the point in having the company? No, but I also remember you telling me something, and this is actually one of the things that I was kind of happy to hear about today. And that was you guys are working on getting a new trailer, right?
Yeah, we have a 6x10 trailer. And the problem with that trailer is it's great for the summertime because you only have, you have t-shirts, you have socks, hygiene, all that stuff. And just to step back a quick second, money people donate, that goes to buying gear. And when I say gear, we dress out a homeless veteran from head to toe in brand new clothing. Yeah. And there's a reason for that. And that'll be part of the mindset part that we'll talk about in a little bit. But, they get brand new clothing. Now, here's the thing. That's the FSB phone right now.
Go ahead. And if you need to mute yourself, go ahead. Cause I got something I want to say.
Yeah.
For those of you guys who don't know, I am very, very confident with FSB. I know that every dollar that's donated will go straight to a homeless veteran, whether it be for gear for them, getting them a bus ticket to get them to a place that they can actually grow, to even getting them home where they're safe again. So as you guys can tell up on the page, fsbinc.org, you can donate straight to their website. So if I don't do anything with this podcast for the rest of the podcast life, if you guys can share this out, share this video out, because when I'm done with the live, it will go. Offer help to veterans in other states around the country. Actually, I am going to put that up there. But like I said, if I don't do anything with this podcast, I truly hope to actually get more veterans off the street. Now, Mohawk Wyatt just asked, can you offer help to veterans in other states around the country? I know that's the biggest obstacle for a lot of homeless veterans trying to find help around the country.
So what? Yeah, we can. And the reason why I could say that is, yes, we only have teams in Pennsylvania, Maryland, Delaware, New Jersey, Ohio, Tennessee. Our Tennessee team is on hiatus, and we have a team in Florida. I'm building a team in Ithaca, New York, and a team in Boston, Massachusetts. And a matter of fact, you will know the president of the Boston, Massachusetts, and you would know him by Crippy. Remember Brandon, the veteran who was paralyzed from the neck down? He's going to be the he has a tank chair now. He's off of TikTok, but he has a tank, and he wants to be president. So I have a list of every single GPD, SSVF, and bridge program in the United States, and I have it updated constantly. So if you guys, somebody called me from Idaho tonight, I can give them the resources. Now I can't help them in the way if they were in person with me, but I will walk them through how to go about getting into a program. And that's like if they're single, they go into the GPD. If they're married, SSVF. And then there are other programs through counties that that are veteran oriented. And if there's not a GPD program in there, there's always a county service officer. Every county has a county service officer. So and I have their numbers.
One of the other questions was, are you able to help veterans preemptively before they come home? become homeless.
Yes. So that's where we step in and we get them in touch with somebody from the SSVF. So the SSVF has a program that will help them if they're about to become homeless, if they have an eviction notice, things like that. And again, there's funding available for things like that, especially, for that reason, we are geared to know and keep on top of all that kind of information because of that fact. Because again, we can get a call from somebody in a different state. We helped Spawn when he was homeless, make sure Spawn had to get to where he got. And as a VSO, I got Spawn to 100%, by the way. He's all excited now. Oh, the call I got early in the morning from him. He was ecstatic. But yeah, again, there's always ways, Casey, to be able to help. And if I don't have the answers, here's the thing about me. I'm a tenacious animal. If I don't have the answer, I will find it. I will reach out to any resource I have to use to make it happen for somebody. Because all of my brothers and sisters, nobody in the United States should be homeless, but no veteran should ever be homeless, plain and simple. There's tons of these empty buildings in every single city that could be turned into interim housing. One of our goals down the line is to have interim housing between getting them off the street that day. Because I like today, like the two that we got out that we're going to be working with on Tuesday, the 2 homeless veterans that we did today during the outreach. I would have liked to be able to take them right to interim housing, put them in a shower and a bed tonight and say, okay, on Tuesday, we're going to work on the plan to get you into your permanent, into more stable housing. So it would be interim. It would be, a couple days, a couple weeks, a couple months. But that's a down the line. That's big.
That's a goal.
Yeah.
And like I said in the description, I did say we're not quite where we want to be. I don't think any of us are. Sorry, my seat's broke, so I do got to get a new seat eventually. Like you'll watch it actually sink down slowly, like it just did just now. But like I said in the description, we're not where we want to be totally. I said at the beginning as well. I'll never be where I want to be. At least I'll never see it, because where I want to be is where my great grandkids are comfortable. They're able to do what they have to do. Let me rephrase that. Not comfortable, but able to make more money off of what I've already gave them.
Right.
So, another, as a lot of people know, I've spoke about it many times. I was homeless out in Ohio for 2 years almost. Not even 2 years, but pretty close. That would have been something great for me to know, because I was in Ohio, and you guys do have an Ohio team. Now, when I was homeless, I don't think you did have an Ohio team, but this would have been things great for me to know. I was not aware of them. So in my opinion, I don't think a lot of veterans are actually aware of the programs that are out there that could help them.
Right. Now, one of the things that, and I hate to jump in on you like this, but this is something that I'm very passionate about, getting in front of Congress and talking about. Actually, one of our silent board members is actually general counsel at the Pentagon. And he can't, until he retires, we can't use his name. We can't say who he is. But he was one of the original 4. And I said, I want to get in front of Congress to talk about this. And I also want to talk to anybody who will listen. And I talk to people, especially on TikTok, guys and gals who are in leadership positions. I'm like, look, when guys and gals are out processing, they don't talk about all the things that are available to you. When we got processed, they give you 30 days. You got to get all this stuff done, and then they give you your ticket and say, thank you for your service, on your way. They don't know about the homeless programs that are out there. They don't know about, they don't spend enough time telling them, hey, the very first day you get out, go to the VA and sign up. That's the very first thing you do. And then go to the county, go to your local courthouse and put a copy of your DD-214 on file. They don't tell you these things. You know what I mean? And it's something that needs to be done. And I said, I want to get in front of Congress and talk about it. And it will happen. It will happen before our lifetimes are over. I'm telling you. I might be.
I know.
I'm 57. I might be 80 in a wheelchair, looking like Professor Xavier going up there.
Look,
I don't care. It's going to happen.
This guy says he'll be 80 in a wheelchair. He ain't gonna be in no wheelchair. He'll be on the tank chair. The one with the tracks.
Well, that's pretty much Xavier. So,
dude, those are some of the coolest freaking wheelchairs I've ever seen. Hopefully, I never have to sit in one, because I really don't want to be in a wheelchair. I was in one already. Don't need to be one again. Yeah. But I mean, They're awesome because they literally will go anywhere. Now, I'm gonna try to get into the mindset side of things on this, on how, in my opinion, you help people. You give them brand new gear, right? In other words, shirt, socks, underwear, pants, stuff like that, right? Boots.
Head to toe.
So with that, you cannot be confident in yourself, dressed like shit and smelling like shit and feeling like shit. You know, how you look on the outside is going to be a representative of how you feel on the inside, right? So if you're dressed in grungy clothes, you know, give me a sec. I don't know where that hat is. There it is. My original hat. This is my original hat, all grungy, oily, and greasy, right? I love this hat. This is one of my favorite hats. I will say that. But I'm not going to wear it right now because it is grungy. But if you're dressed in dirty-ass clothes, you have shitty-ass boots, you know, naturally you're going to look at yourself and not feel confident. Okay, naturally, you're not. You know, and I've worked with a lot of females, okay, with their confidence, because I'm sorry, after domestic violence situations, any kind of traumas, and I use air quotes because I'm not going to say the traumas on here, but any kind of traumas that they have, one of the first things I tell most women to do, go dress up in whatever you think is the most beautiful clothes you could think of. Do your hair, do your makeup, go take a picture in front of a mirror. Go take a picture in front of a mirror and allow yourself, because you have to see yourself that way. If you don't see yourself with that confidence, you'll never get that confidence back. You have to actually see yourself. The reason why I tell them to take a picture, take a picture, put it on your screen. Put it on your screen and save it. Then the next day, do the same thing. Do this for about 5 days. And I'm telling you, it works. I promise, I've used it myself. Get yourself looking as nice and as sharp as you can for 5 days. I don't care if you go anywhere or not. Dress really nice for 5 days. Take a nice shower, do your makeup, do your hair, do your nail, whatever you got to do. I tell this to men too. Go dress up. Dress up, get a shower, dress up. You're going to feel automatically in 5 days, you will feel a hell of a lot more confident in yourself, and you will feel a hell of a lot better in yourself. Okay. So with you guys doing that, I think it's amazing. Now, I do remember you also saying something that you're working on getting that trailer, right?
Right.
Okay. While you were away, I did pull up your site again, and I did tell people to go over and donate to fsb.org. Once again, if you guys don't know, I will keep, I'm just going to keep this right up there. I'm going to keep it up there because this is going to be there through the whole video. Guys, we really want to get homeless veterans off the streets. The only way you're going to do it is by helping, bringing awareness to them. You know, if we're getting mad, and I hate to bring the politics into this, but everyone's getting mad about Elon Musk doing the audits and all that crap. What I'm mad about is the shit he's finding. What I'm mad about is I'm finding out that other countries are gaining, like literally gaining. Terrorist countries are gaining off our taxes when we still have homeless veterans and homeless children in the fucking streets.
Well,
I don't get it.
Again, there's no billboard out there. When you drive down the highway, you're never going to see a billboard. If you're a homeless veteran, or at risk of becoming homeless, call this number. You know what I mean? So, and that's why I try to do as much social media as I can. And it's hard because, I have a day job. I am an accredited VSO. My goal has always been to be able to help veterans 24/7. Well, besides the nonprofit, now being an accredited VSO, I get to work during the day with my brothers and sisters, helping them on their claims, and then, and also help the homeless with that too. Because one of the things is our team had a VSO. So we have a VSO with our team. And that's one of the things we're working on, and making sure each team has a VSO. Because a lot of our brothers and sisters don't know, the guy today was a combat medic, 2 tours, and I seen the dead stare. We know K9, we know that the 1,000 yards there, the 1,000 yards there. And I could see it. And I'm like, I called them off to the side away from the little group. And I said, "Are you suffering from PTSD?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Anxiety, depression." I said, "I'm noticing certain mannerisms in you." He said, "Yeah." I said, "Have you ever filed for a claim?" He goes, "No, I haven't touched the VA since I got out." And this is the things that, as somebody who was there, who walked away from the VA system in 1996. I was that, I was homeless, wouldn't want to touch the VA. And then after getting in the program and finding out, because here's the thing people don't understand too, real quick. When you're in the homeless veterans program, you get 100% free medical, including dental, and you don't have to have a rating because you are in a homeless veterans program. So while they're in those programs, I always tell them, get all your health issues taken care of, and get all your dental taken care of. Because until you get to 100%, you don't get free dental,
Mhm.
So, you could be 90%, you still don't get free dental. Now, there is something to Delta Dental for us, but it costs, but it's still not that much. But again, these are things that we don't know that are out there. And that's why our goal is to have a team in every single state. And some states are going to need more, but we're not going to just willy-nilly throw teams out there. That's not how we do it. I said the max we would do is 5 teams a year. Even when we start going into our bigger expansions, we will not do more than 5 teams a year because they have to learn how to do outreaches properly. You don't just go like in that video. There was some editing done. She didn't put in, "Hey, my name is Chaz Kranek. Can I come into your area?" Because again, the homeless people, that is their home. I don't care if it's a piece of cardboard, that's their home, and you treat it with respect. You treat it just like a regular home. You ask for permission to go into the camp. So there wasn't that, there's always editing, but she still gets, they still got the point across that, I'm using my command voice yelling across an entire camp. So,
Well, I mean,
what a little joke about that is we've had guys in the back of camp start running thinking we were cops because they hear, because I can bellow,
oh yeah,
I've got a voice. And they're like, "We thought you were cops," So,
well, all I'm gonna say is, going from being a homeless veteran yourself to now you're in your own home. You have a lovely wife. You have your little hippo running around you.
2 little demon cats, Claymore and Carla.
Yeah, the 2 cats. You're doing well for yourself now, but. I know a lot of people are probably looking, they look in and they don't see that side of you, right?
No.
They don't see that, hey, at one time you were on that side where you were needing to help out.
Yep.
You were needing.
And that's the whole thing. And that's why my program, and I shouldn't say mine because it's not my program. It's our program.
Oh, no.
I apologize because it's not my program. It's our program. The thing is, when I talk to homeless veterans, I get to tell them, hey, you're not going to tell me something I haven't been to or haven't done. I'm a recovering drug addict. I'm a recovering alcoholic. I'm a felon. Well, I've been in prison. You can't tell me something that I, haven't been there and done. And if I can go from there to where I am now, owning my own home, my motorcycles, my own, having a life, you can do it too. You can.
So I'm going to kind of bring 2 vets into this.
Yep.
What's up, Leah? I'm going to bring 2 vets into this because I remember having a conversation with a veteran because we were trying to get him a service dog, and one of the things that was holding him back was the fact that he was a felon. See, this makes no sense right here, okay? Because I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it with the biggest disrespect in the world on veteran organizations that use felonies as a reason to not help people. Okay. 1, most veterans, when they get out of service, especially combat veterans, there are 2 things they go after. They go after an easy fix to keep them out of their fucking heads. That's drugs or alcohol. First 2 things they go after. I don't give a fuck. You can argue with me all you want. The first 2 things that normally they go after is drugs and alcohol, whether they start drinking a lot or they start doing drugs, okay? Now, another thing they go after, they find a family. They find a family, and normally they don't find it in the right places. I'm one, I know. Okay, so with that said, why the fuck are we stopping veterans from getting the help they need, such as a service dog or something like that, simply because they have a felony? Am I wrong, 2 vets? We just went through this not too long ago.
You're not wrong at all, but also at the same time that when people hear felony, they're thinking like the big ticket items like murder or
If they're still
different-
thinking murder and that stuff, then they haven't lived in the real world. These are
Right,
the people I
right.
don't want helping me. Is the people that don't live in the real world. Because you want to know why? Because they look down on you because they're like higher than you, and that's not okay. Because I'm
Right.
gonna tell you right now,
Or-
I
well,
can make $1 million in a year, no problem, if
so
I have
one
the
of the
contacts.
one of the things that it's kind of apples to oranges, but you'll definitely understand where I'm coming from. Especially
I got you,
with
Mohawk.
the uh especially with the felony side
Okay.
of it. Normally what we do, so I can check that a veteran is real, I'll ask to see their DD-214 and or their VA enrollment card.
Which-
Normally,
That should be all you need to do. Why would you have to check their criminal record? I mean, unless as a dog trainer, I get it. As a dog trainer, in some cases, I get you're wanting to know, make sure they don't have any crimes against an animal. I understand that. But once you
Well-
find out that the felony charge is something stupid, like, and I'm sorry, drugs, I think is the stupidest felony charge you get. Most of the country is now legalizing it.
Right.
Well,
Well,
alcohol
even,
charges. Stupid.
One of the things that most people will come across is other than honorable to dishonorable discharges
Okay.
Mhm.
that will disqualify them from help from organizations. If me personally, if I see somebody that has a other than honorable, then I'll actually sit down and talk with them and like, I need to know what this is. Can me as an organization get behind what
Hey,
happened?
Mohawk, I'm going to ask if I can put that up on screen so everyone can see it, and it's actually in the video for good, because that's something I really think that needs to be put out there,
Mm.
because that's something that in my opinion, every veteran feels exactly what he just said.
Mm.
What?
I'll wait for him to give me. All right, it's going up on screen. This is
So,
something every veteran quits reaching out for because of this.
Mm.
Oh, absolutely. And I know this is kind of off topic, but I was actually at the VA last week, and I was asking for some help, and they were like, "Well, we can't do this, we can't do that," and
Two
I'm
vets
like,
take over for a minute. I'll be right back.
Mm.
Oh,
Got
wrong person. Wrong person. I did not mean to do that. That was crazy.
but so long story short, they called in other people to help me mediate the conversation, and I was like, look, I'm asking for help, and you wonder why the certain rates are the way that they are.
Right.
It's because we can't get that help,
right.
and we learn to stop asking for that help.
Well, here's the thing, and you should this as well, being 100%, same here. You have to continue to advocate for yourself, no matter what.
Absolutely.
And like we were talking about dishonorable, like general, I have the same problem with the homeless veterans. Like there's two things that you cannot get. I don't care if they're a 4-star general. If they have child abuse charges or arson charges, no program or no shelter even will take them in if they know they have those charges. So when we get them into go into the program, I can understand, because I have a very bad problem with child abuse. That's where a couple of my one of my aggravated felonies came from, because I basically the guy died, but he didn't die before trial. I don't have to get into that right now, but funny thing is,
That's how I won my kids.
Here's the funny, exactly. Funny thing is, they always talk about gun rights with felons, and I know I'm going to get a little political, and I don't talk politics, but I'm a felon, and I have my gun rights back, and mine are aggravated felonies. You could still get your gun rights back after 10 years.
The problem is
You have
we
to
talk
work.
about we talk about our Constitution all the time. Everyone talks about freedom of speech, right?
Mm.
In the Second Amendment of freedom, that is a God-given freedom, right? So
Right,
why is
yeah.
it our freedom of speech cannot get infringed on, but our Second Amendment can?
Here's the thing, and I know that it was just signed about an executive order that every state has their own constitution. Well, guess what? They do not supersede the United States Constitution. And the United States Constitution does not say nothing about felons having guns. As a matter of fact, when I got out of prison the first time, they were supposed to give me a horse, 2 pieces of gold, and a shotgun. I didn't get, because I actually brought it up at my parole board. I said, when will I get that? We'll be outside the door. And I'm like, it's on your law. It's in the book. It's never been taken off. I said, so boom.
I'm doing my first Ulti sample. Dude, this is one I've drank so much, it's unreal. By the way, you guys could get 4 of these right now at ultistups.com using code FREE4ME.
So what you're saying is your singles came in.
Yes, my singles came in, but my bundle hasn't. Can you read
Wyatt,
more?
New Mexico. New Mexico. Wyatt, as a matter of fact, I read up there a couple comments that you want to talk to me. Here's the thing. Our phone number is right on the website.
Yep.
Can't miss it. You can call me anytime, man. Call me.
I'll get you in touch with them.
Yeah. Or no, that's my personal number, dude.
No.
Yeah, my personal number is.
Yeah.
I
don't give out your personal number. I promise you. I also have your FSB number.
Yeah. It's easy. I don't give it. I mean, we're on a podcast. It's 302-397-1126. Yeah.
That's the FSB number?
Yeah. 302-397-1126. It's right on the website.
Yeah, I'm actually looking for it right now.
Yeah, because that's the number that I answer that. This phone stays. We joke about this phone because this phone never leaves my side. Even when I'm taking a shower, it's right there. My work allows me to answer this phone anytime. Even, if I'm with a veteran doing a claim, I'll say, excuse me. If it's a number I don't recognize, I will answer that phone right off the bat because you don't know if that's a veteran in crisis who's homeless too. Because I could tell you a story about that from last year about one of my favorite success stories, which we can get into, because I think his success is better than mine, even though, most people would look at it as not that way. But I shower, poop, doesn't matter what I'm doing. When I'm on my motorcycle, I literally have this in a holder up front, so if it rings, I could see it and I could pull over. It's that important to me that I answer people's calls.
I have been needing this for a while. By the way, Chaz, I sent you something through Messenger. I know you and Death Wish Coffee, man. I swear, if they don't sponsor you by like next year, I'm gonna be pissed. Like I'm gonna be pissed. They should have already sponsored you.
If they would sponsor just 1 year of outreaches, I would tattoo the logo.
Yep.
You've heard me say it 100 times on TikTok. I've had people from TikTok send the videos to them. I've had people reach out to them. I will have this tattooed right on top of my head. I don't care. Yep. My wife's against it. I told her, all I have to do is just do this. And of course, this is one of my favorite hats.
I like that. I exist really out of spite. Death Wish. It is amazing. So this guy drinks Death Wish coffee all the time. I think that's like his only coffee that exists in his world.
That is the only coffee. And I do. And the funny thing is I take the dark roast and the espresso roast to make a new roast. And
so, guys, now's the time where we're going to kind of actually enjoy the podcast a little bit. We normally end right at about an hour, but if this goes on longer, I don't care because I'm actually enjoying it. I'm loving to be able to talk to Chaz. So with everything that's gone on and everything we've learned about Chaz, I'm going to say this. If you guys don't understand why I actually wanted Chaz, he didn't reach out to me to be on here. I promise you that. I reached out to him to see if he'd come on so he could talk about FSB for me. Simply because I do believe in what he's doing. I've seen what he's done. I've heard the veterans that he has helped. Caffeine and hate, brother. Death Wish. It is good. I like Death Wish coffee too, but it's like I've got 5 kids. I can't afford it. I would love to have Death Wish K cups.
They have them.
I know they do. I seen them at Walmart. I was like, ugh.
Go on Amazon. They're actually cheaper. So I gave up my
Really?
subscription through Death Wish. It was $19.99 a bag. It's $14.96 a bag through Amazon. I have my 4 bags drop shipped for every other week. Yes, I go through 2 bags a week. But again, I have a 10 cup, a 14 cup, and a 50 cup coffee maker that goes. So
yeah, like I said, we normally end the show right around 10 o'clock. It's currently 9:48, but you know what? I'm going to keep it going because the simple fact is, once again, FSB Inc., FSBinitiative.org is one of my few favorite nonprofit organizations that I actually trust. As you guys know, Two Vets is a secondary one that I really love. He's a state nonprofit through Oklahoma. He deals with better than Keith, if you know.
it's the only brand of coffee you can get in prison.
I know. Give me
and
1 second.
And it's so horrible. But it's good. It's delicious. Every morning when you drink that, you're like, this is the best cup of coffee I ever had. But it's
so Keith's is like it's like the Rippets.
yeah, it would be the Temu version of coffee. Rippets
Gotcha.
Keith, you would be the Temu version of coffee. Let's put it that way.
Gotcha.
So, anyways, let my guy over here drink his Death Wish coffee. Hey, no, show that. Yeah, I'm going to show mine.
I drink this stuff from the time I
I'm
go
gonna show mine.
the minute I go to bed.
I'll believe it.
Jokingly, my doctor asked me to cut back from 4 pots to 2 pots. And I said, I can do that. And then a year later, she said, can you please cut back to 1 pot? And I said, sure. So that's why I bought the 50 cup coffee maker. I'm not lying to her. Again, because I believe in the 4 agreements, which we'll talk about, and I'm sure at some point here.
Oh yeah, I'm waiting. I've been waiting for those to come up.
So so everybody knows I live my life by 4 agreements. It's called the 4 agreements. You can look them up online to get more in depth. Be impeccable with your word. If you say you're going to do something, do it. Don't take things personally. Do not make assumptions, and always do your best. And there's the ridge hand. With always do your best is going to change from day to day. Some days, for those of us who deal with PTSD, I have what's called intermittent explosive disorder. I have complex PTSD, suicidal ideation, all that fun stuff. There are days where just getting out of bed is my best. But guess what? I celebrate that. Because there are days where I'm like, I'm not getting out of bed today.
So we celebrate your little
myself out. And then I make my next little goal, whatever it is. Go make that cup of coffee. Go, kick the wife and kiss the dog, or whichever way you got to do it. Whatever you have to do, whatever your goal is, that's how you do it. So again, yeah, good book. It's again, that's how I live my life. The 4 agreements, and being impeccable with your word is probably because I used to, and I don't mince words when I talk about this. I would tell anybody what they needed to hear back in the day. I did. Call it a liar. I was a liar. It didn't matter. If it meant not hurting somebody's feelings or getting the outcome that I needed or wanted.
That's not called a liar. That's called being a people pleaser or a manipulator. One of the two.
So, I manipulated people too. And after I became homeless, and then I knew I had to make some changes, but there was a big part of that with my ex-wife. I was married for 15 years. My ex-wife got me to do some stupid shit. That's how I ended up getting custody of our youngest daughter. A lot of people don't know that.
Where'd that hat go?
Oh, you want me to put the hat back on?
I love that hat. That hat's awesome. I'm gonna have to buy one. Where'd you get it?
Amazon. Because I found it online, and then I went to Amazon. I buy everything off Amazon. I look on something on Facebook and see it. I order.
Two Vets. I know you're having trouble reading it. It says I exist purely out of spite.
Yep.
Okay. He's a Marine guy, so sometimes you have to spell it out for him. It's all right. We still love our Marines. Don't worry. I'll get you a pack of crayons later.
Hey, Wyatt, I could tell you, I'm an open book about my story. I have, and this was the whole thing when I first jumped on TikTok
Definitely.
under the FSB initiative. My first couple lives were I needed to tell
Yeah,
my
wait.
story, everything. I needed people to know that I'm a felon. I needed people to know where I came from and all the bullshit that I've done. Because if you're going to trust me now, you need to know where I came from to get to where I am today. Because a lot of us, you know, there are a lot of people out there who, you know, they say, you know, you can't change. You know, lions can't change or whatever. Tigers can't change their
That's
stripes.
it. Tigers can't change their stripes. That's
Well,
bullshit.
guess what? That's bullshit.
That's complete bullshit. They can.
Because-
It takes time, but they
Right.
can.
Right. And the first time I hit rock bottom, I thought I was, you know, oh, this is the worst. No, I found out rock bottom has a basement, and that's what put me to being homeless.
Yep.
So guess what?
But
I had to make the change in my mind, you know, and one of the first things after becoming homeless, one of the very first books that was given to me in this little packet of stuff was the 4 Agreements.
Mm.
So I started saying them to myself morning, noon, and night. When I go to bed at night, I say them. Before my eyes even open in the morning, I'm already reciting the 4 Agreements in my head. I used to have stickers all over my house. I had them in my car, the 4 Agreements to remind myself. And there are some days we're going to screw up. And Nick, you know this. I took something personal about somebody saying something on TikTok. They didn't name us, but they were talking, and I knew who they were talking about. And I got personal, and I contacted Nick, and Nick even said, "Hey, don't take it personal, man." He knew to say that to me, and it reassured me. I'm like, "Oh, that's right. I'm not supposed to take things personal."
the second you start taking things personal, you give them power.
Yeah.
The minute you start taking anything a hater says about you personal, you give them power. And unfortunately, I think you were around when I was getting bashed all over TikTok, being called a hacker and a scam artist and all that. You know, I allowed that to eat me, like literally get to me. And what happened was it turned me into someone I didn't want to be, which too bad you watched the whole thing happen.
Yep.
You know, at the time I was trying to find a good friend of mine who is, as bad as I'm going to say this, missing. But and then that all happened. The minute that all happened, like I felt like, and you ever feel like you broke it, like a bone broke? If you've ever had a bone broke and you heard that crunch, that's what it felt like in my head, that crunch. Like everything that could possibly go wrong at that time was going wrong. Excuse me. And so it literally tore me to a part that I didn't talk to anyone. I mean, it was hard for even two vets to even call me. Like, I didn't let anyone, like, I literally, for a month or so, I just went silent, radio silent for everyone. That's because I allowed things that I shouldn't have taken personal. I allowed them to get to me, okay? Now, I talk about breakthroughs, right? So, for you, being homeless was your breakthrough. That rock bottom was your breakthrough. It is fucking time to change. I don't want to be this fucking person, right? That's kind of how my second breakthrough was. I learned don't take things personally, because it's going to break you. It's going to take you back down to that level of hell you don't want to be in, that basement. So with that said, remember, don't ever take haters personally.
It's about the willingness to continue to fight and survive. And the thing that we have to realize, you know, especially, you know, as military veterans, we're not just fighting to fight or, you know, create drama. We are literally fighting to stay alive.
Mm-hmm.
We are fighting for our lives. And that's what it boils down to.
Yep. Oh, absolutely. You know, we all have these battles within, and it doesn't matter if you're a combat veteran or a veteran who just did 2 years, because again, people forget one thing. People forget something about the military. When you go to basic training, they break you down to the most basic of yourself. They strip you of all your dignity, of everything. I always said, I laughed because I said basic training was harder than prison, and I was in New Mexico. I was in a New Mexico prison with some of the baddest, meanest freaking gangs. And I said, basic training was harder because, again,
I enjoyed basic training.
Yeah, but they break you down to rebuild you up.
Yep.
But you're taking a young, impressionable mind. You know, I went in, I was on delayed entry. I went in when I was 17, turned 18 while I was in basic. but they broke you, and then they mold you into a fighting machine. We are all fighting machines, and I don't care if you're an admin, if you're administration, or you're on the front line. You are still a warrior. You're trained to be a warrior. And then what do? When you're done, they take the warrior and let you loose in the civilian world with no warning. When you get out of prison, there is a reintegration. What do we do in our last 30 days when we out process? You know, we are not taught how to become a civilian again. Even though we'll never be civilians, we're always going to be who we are, but to be part of the civilian world.
Certain training you just can't get rid of. I don't give a shit how long you're out. You cannot get rid of it. I don't care. I learned, and I'll be honest, I learned how to fire. I fired my first weapon in basic training. Fired my first weapon. Never fired a weapon the day before in my life. I went in there. But you want to know something? I learned how. I sucked at it, but I got better. Yeah, and that's one thing the military did teach me. You may suck at anything. You could be the shittiest person alive when it comes to doing anything. But you keep doing it. You keep trying. You keep honing your skills, and you're going to get better. That's the second part of the mindset. Here's the thing. You could be in the deepest hole. You could be rock bottom. But you have a choice. You could either stay there, allow yourself to fall farther, or you could decide, fuck this hole, I'm climbing the fuck out of it, or I'm digging my ass out of it. One of the two, you will make whatever decision you make, you will be successful at, as long as you make the decision.
And here's the thing about that. You cannot do it for your friends. You cannot do it for your family. You cannot do it for your children. You have to do it for yourself, because if you promise to do it for everybody else, you're going to fail every time. I've never seen somebody said, "Oh, I'm going to stop being an addict for my family." Do it. When they decided they did it for yourself. Same with me. You know, the first time I OD'd, I had family around me. The second time, nobody was there. And I made the choice that I had to do it for myself, because if I didn't, no one else would.
So I'm actually at school to become a certified personal trainer. That's a mouthful. Anyways, one of the things I've noticed, and I think I spoke to you before the show about this, I don't want to just do it based on fitness. I don't want to just teach people how to work out. I don't want to talk to people about how to work out. I want to teach them how to have the mindset that they can succeed in it, right? So I'm developing a program for my own business that I'm doing, and it is going to be under the Empowered Mindset name. I'm developing a program that literally starts at the mindset level. Instead of trying to be like, "Oh, you're fat, you need to do this way." I'm developing the program so I can actually get them to understand. In order for them to actually do it and follow through with it, they have to want it. You see what I'm saying? Just like a drug addict, an alcoholic, you name it. That is an awesome gnome. Anyways, sorry, ADD moment. Chaz, you're not helping my ADD. But what I'm saying is, I could have gave up back when I lost my kids in 2019 and lost my home, my job, everything like that. I could have gave up right then and there and said, "Fuck it, I'm done." I could have ended my life and became, as it's called, 22D. I didn't even know anything about 22 a day. Just so everyone knows. At that time, had no clue. All I knew, CPS took my kids over some bullshit shit that I thought was bullshit and hearsay. Turned out it wasn't. Okay. Then I find out that it was true. I also got told by CPS in Ohio that, you missed it, by the way, Alpha. I opened up the first pack, by the way, buddy. I opened up the first pack and you missed it. I'm just messing with you. Anyways, sorry. Alti's actually in the chat now. So y'all say hi to Alti. Don't forget to go over to altisubs.com. Get yourself your sampler packs. I only have 3 now because I opened them. Opened up 1. But anyways, I could have gave up because I was told by the CPS worker that the only way I'd get my kids back was if I somehow became their mother. Which, come on now. Really? I have to fight harder as a dad to get my kids back than if I was a mom. Then found out from the guardian ad litem that I was, they normally would offer housing assistance, furniture assistance, vehicle assistance, all that to single mothers. I wouldn't offer a damn thing. Everything I did, I had to work for. I had to do it all myself. I had to find my own resources. Which, yeah, it sounds like I'm bitching. I'm not, because that taught me who the fuck I was. I jumped through every hoop twice for CPS to get my kids back. But guess what? My kids are now with me. I have full legal and sole custody. We have our own place. I'm no longer homeless, but guess what? I'm here. I'm still busting my ass to keep going forward.
Well, you know,
Oh,
I was just
I
thinking
understand that, Mohawk.
You know, I was just thinking about something, you know, when we were talking about, you know, past and everything else. I don't know if you know what it takes to become an accredited VSO. Besides, you know, you have to go through a federal background check. And me knowing I had these felonies, now they're over 10, it's over 10 years. But my biggest hurdle when I got hired, I sat down with the executive director and said, here's my rap sheet. You sure you want to try to hire me? Because I'm not going to pass that federal background check. He said, write up a letter stating what happened and put it along with your application for your background check. I did that. And what the VA said was, it's over 10 years. And in 10 years, you've done this. And they also had me put in about the FSB and stuff. You know what I mean? So they seen what I was. And this is why I tell people, I don't give a shit what you've gone through. It's what you go through. You know what I mean? You use your past as a stepping stone. You know, it's a nice place to visit once in a while, but don't keep looking in that rearview mirror, because if you keep looking in it, what does it say on your side of your rearview mirror? Objects are closer,
yeah.
right? And if you keep staring at that, they're going to keep getting closer and closer. Yep. You can go visit. Just don't count.
I just take a saying, you know, out of Jelly Roll's book. The windshield is much more. The windshield is bigger than the rear view mirror for a reason.
Yeah. So
why's your camera off?
So I always, you know, again, you know, when we're dealing with the homeless veteran, getting back to the homeless veteran part, you know, you have to get into their heads just as much and let them know that, you know, they could be whatever the hell they want to be. And, you know, I tell them the entire thing from top to bottom, you know, including, hey, you know, I lost my kids because of me being homeless and everything else. And then I ended up getting full damn custody, just like you did. I ended up getting full custody because of who I am, not who I was. And we all have to always remember, we are not our past. You know, we are who we are, and all we can do is be a better version of ourselves every day. And whatever better version of that is, that's up to you. There's nobody else on this planet who can tell you because we're all different. You know, me, Nick, K9, we could have all grew up together, went to basic training together, went to AIT together, went to, you know, if you went to combat, you went to combat together, all got off the same time, got off the same bus. We're still different people, and different things are going to happen to us. So you cannot, you know, use your stories, use your past, use your present, use your future to impart on others what you want, you know, because everybody's success is different. You know, everybody's success, like, and we were talking about that earlier too, is that, you know, yeah, I'm in my own home. Well, guess what? I'm in the process of wanting a bigger home.
Yep, me too.
We've been here 5 years. We decided we want a bigger home. It's just me and my wife. I want a bigger home. Why? Because I want to go back into doing something that used to help me with my mindset. I want to build my dojo, my own personal dojo again. And I also want to be able to put in a old pickup truck and start restoring it, because I made a promise to my youngest daughter, who's now 20, that she would have a restored truck one day, because she loves trucks. She is a gearhead. She loves, and we still talk about that. Like, hey, we still got to work on a truck, that you're going to drive. You know what I
So
mean?
you're talking about a bigger home. I think I told you about that too. My goal for this by the end of this year is I want to be in a bigger home where I actually have my own studio. I'm not having to do all this out of my bedroom.
Right.
I want my kids to have bigger space, a backyard. I want to be able to have a garage. If I decide I want my studio in the garage, I want to be able to have my own studio.
Right.
I not only do I game, but I do my podcast. You know how hard it is to have my gaming area and my podcast area at the same place? It's not easy.
Well-
Yeah, I know everyone's probably sitting there thinking, oh well, you're gaming and you're doing your podcast on the same computer. No, I'm really not. I haven't been on Twitch since I started the podcast. Because the fact is I have to set my stream deck up a different way. That's why. I don't have I mean you could change the profiles, yeah, but I just want to have my own area.
Right. Like
Yeah.
my office is in our middle room here. Yes, I can move it up to my daughter's room, but we also have people who come and stay here. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Throughout the year, we have different people who come and stay. When we have our dice run coming up, we'll have a house full of TikTokers in my house again. You know what I mean? So that's
Bunch of influencers.
yeah. Oh, don't tell Duff that his head will.
Swell.
But we have team members from other states that come. And this year, the big thing was last year we all got, I got my FSB tattoo. Duff got his Ohio team. Well, Phil's coming up. Phil Loring is coming up this year. A couple other people.
I know who Phil is.
They want to get tattoos. So I already booked our tattooist for the day. He's already booked for the day before the dice run. We will have Tim the Saluting Marine there again this year, just like we did last year. He was saluting off
Tim. He's a good guy.
Yeah. Problem was it was pissing down rain, so we didn't get as many bikes, but we still had a great, the great after party. He had a great time, and he said, "I'd love to come back and do this again." So we said, "Well, how about next year?" He goes, "Absolutely." So he's already booked for that. We my whole thing was when I came back here, I took this house because it was perfect at the time. And again, as I've grown,
You've outgrown it.
Has grown, and I'm now having my, I have my car, I have my motorcycle. I want a couple other toys that are in my mind, and to have them, I need more space. How do I get more space? I've worked hard. I'm cutting back on things that I would normally buy so that I can save up some extra money to get the house that I want next. And will that be my final house? No.
Probably not.
7 years old, probably not.
Hey, fuck it, I'm gonna flip it. I'm gonna flip it, make some money off it.
My final house is already determined. I'm not going to say what state, but it is a cabin that is backed up against a national forest, and 10 acres to the left, 12 acres to the right. There's no neighbor. There's no neighbor for almost 14 acres to the front. And I'm back to a national forest. So that's my final stop. That's all
I don't
right.
know. My final stop's gonna be a 3x5. Or a 3x6. That's all I know.
No. When I die, it's in my will. It's even in my VA living will. I am going to be cremated from the neck down, and I want my head put on a stick. And everybody at my afterlife party has to hold it when they want to talk about me. You have to hold the head stick.
It's gruesome, but I like it. I can't wait to hold that stick.
Yep, everybody has to hold the stick to talk.
I'm gonna move your mouth. Make it seem like you're talking for me.
Yeah.
Hey, can we get Jeff Dunham to turn you into a puppet?
Yeah, there you go.
That'd be a better way, wouldn't it? Because then while you're holding the stick, you actually have to make you talk.
Make it like a Pez dispenser too. Spit candy out. Empty Death Wish bags.
Oh, this has got gruesome, guys. This escalated quickly.
No, it didn't get gruesome. It got morbid.
Very morbid. Very morbid. But hey, you know what? Welcome to a bunch of veterans talking.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'd get worse. Okay, if you haven't seen Mohawk's art, okay, go look at Mohawk's art. Right?
What
You
are
want to
talking
talk about some?
They look at Mohawk's art every day, or at least every week.
Well, yeah, when they see here. By the way, that the artist that designed my logo is actually Mohawk Wyatt. Amazing
cool.
artist. He goes by Mohawk Creations, I believe, on TikTok, and yeah. So hopefully we can get him a website set up soon, so actually people can buy it. He. I think I talked to him about a Deadpool burning that I was like, I guarantee if you did a Deadpool burning and I sent it to him, I could almost guarantee he'd buy it in a heartbeat.
Who me? Yeah,
Yeah.
I
in a
mean,
heartbeat.
hey, Mo, I'm not going to show you everything, but how many people do you know have a Deadpool
Life-size Deadpool
with a pew pew on his side that may or may not be a actual 50 cal? I won't. We are online. I'll be careful.
It's a Desert Eagle, right?
Yes.
That Desert Eagle 50 cal. That is exactly the
Now,
pistol that Deadpool used in the movie. Was a Desert Eagle, except it was gold plated Desert Eagle 50 cal.
In Deadpool 3, yes, that is true. Am I working on that? Maybe, but that would have to be a Christmas gift or a birthday gift I talked to my wife about. We've already brought that up.
I'm just saying. Better to ask forgiveness than permission.
Well, no, because
Oh,
I'm already in the
no,
process
no,
of buying
no.
another motorcycle.
Priorities, man. I'm sure you can go without Death Wish for like a month.
Wyatt, you don't understand. When I say I'm I'm probably the biggest Deadpool fan. I've got so much Deadpool stuff. Deadpool underwear, socks, boxers. I have Deadpool queen size sheet. I had a 2-set made, and matter of fact, there's only 2 in the world. They were done by a certain artist, and they were airbrushed and initialed, and I was bragging about them to another TikToker that we were good friends with, Heathen Veteran, and he was like moping about it. And I got his address from somebody, and I sent them. That dude was crying live because I gave him one of my 2. I also have from Deadpool 2. They made 100 of the taco trucks. Now they made thousands of them, but 100 of them, 1 through 100, were initialed by the creator of the truck. I have the number 1 signed. I'm actually going next weekend to get my Deadpool Kabuki mask tattoo on my
He's
arm.
a big Deadpool fan.
I live for Deadpool. Again, I don't know how many people actually have a life-size Deadpool, and that is not a cosplay quality. That is a real quality. It's better than cosplay quality outfit in a mannequin. I bought the mannequin on Amazon. Again, I love Amazon for finding shit. But yeah, Mohawk, that would be cool. We could talk.
Desert, use your words.
My logo is literally designed. My original logo was literally designed to mimic Deadpool and Ghost Rider.
Yep.
And my two favorites, okay, Deadpool and Ghost Rider. Which, little known fact, there was a crossover with Deadpool, or not Deadpool, but Punisher and Ghost Rider.
Yep.
If you guys don't know, which a lot of people seem to not know this, which really blew my mind hearing about some of the people I talked to that didn't know. Yes, there is an actual comic where Ghost Rider takes the Punisher's car. It becomes the Hell Charger. Okay. 3 forms were made by 3 of these cars were made by Hot Wheels, which I had all 3 of them at one time. It's a green one, a blue one, and of course your yellow one.
So here's something a lot of people don't know too about that Venom. A lot of people are fans of Venom.
Yep.
Who was the very first? What was the very first person he ever took out? What was the very first person that the symbiote ever took over?
Deadpool.
Yes, that's what made him. That's what drove Venom mad. That's what made Venom what Venom is today. It's because he was in the mind of Deadpool, and Deadpool broke the symbiote.
Yep, Deadpool is actually the one that broke Venom.
Yep.
Yes, I remember that comic very well.
Yep. Graphic novels. We're adults now.
No, they're fucking comics. I don't know. Yeah. Graphic novels just remind me of those romance novels that my mother used to read.
The Fabio, the one with Fabio on the front
Yeah,
of it.
yeah.
Keenan, you've been
But,
awfully quiet, man. Come on.
He ain't got
Yeah.
nothing to say. But we talked enough for both of them.
So Canine, you
Yes,
heard me
ma'am.
talk about Baby Hippo. She is a red-nosed bully pit bull. My got her really for my wife. My wife wanted to turn her into my ESA. I said no. I'm finally going to be possibly ready for another service dog. I have a service dog already lined up. It's not born yet. It will be. It's a friend of mine down in Florida who deals in only spotted Merle XL bullies. So,
Ooh,
yeah, spotted
pretty.
Merle XL bull, and no inbreeding. It's all. He's very professional on what he does. So I'm looking forward to getting a sometime later in the fall, getting a puppy, and then actually doing the right steps, getting it to through all the basic training and then good canine citizenship, and then finding a quality service dog program that will train. So I probably will be getting with you at some point. I know we've been following each other on
Oh.
TikTok for years now, but
He does all that training.
there's a reason I put it that way.
Go ahead, Chuvez. I'll shut up.
By now.
I do the canine good citizen and all of that. Absolutely.
Yep. My wife is actually a dog trainer, a certified dog trainer as well, but she is more into she does the puppies and the, getting them to be, what do they call, whatever the basic, whatever the heck it's called. She actually gives them a certificate and everything too. She's certified. She was actually certified as a dog trainer in Canada. And when she moved here, she had to go to another whole course to do it again. So, because they don't recognize from Canada. That's what you get when you import your wife.
I gotta go get coffee because apparently I left it out in my kitchen, so I'll be back.
Yeah, Wyatt, we'll definitely, my number's on there. Give me a call tomorrow. We can bullshit. Deadpool stuff, veteran stuff, helping you out there. K9, do you have a website?
Just the basic website, TwoVetsCanineTraining.com.
Okay, I'll get I'll get a copy of that because I love promoting. And here's the thing, FSB, we don't just promote ourselves; we do promote others. Like even in our lives, we do the lives Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on TikTok, 7:00 till 8:00 Eastern Standard Time, 1900 to 2000 for us, those of us till military time. And I always tell people, and Nick will back this up, we always welcome other organizations to come into the box and talk. Now, we don't just let anybody come in. We usually there's a vetting process, but I've been following you for years. I know, I actually want to apologize because I actually confused you with somebody else.
Give me just 1 minute.
What?
He said, give him a minute. Never supposed to have silence. Silence!
Yeah.
I kill you.
My apologies.
What'd you need a minute for?
I had to move and
No, I thought you were gonna talk. I thought that's what you needed a minute
Yeah,
for. So you can talk.
that's what we said. We thought you.
And shit, you could have muted, man.
I had to have a conversation.
No, but
I had
like
to
I
have
said,
a conversation
I'd love to have you
with
come in and talk
somebody.
about what your program. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because we always promote other organizations. Hell, we've helped another nonprofit start off of TikTok.
Let me guess. Did you think it was Luca? I wouldn't allow that guy on this. Never.
I know, but in the beginning, I was still, I didn't come on TikTok until 2021. And it was only because of my command sergeant major that I come on there. He's like, look, and this was before we had any other teams. You have to remember, I despise TikTok, but I love TikTok. And the reason I say that is because if it wasn't for TikTok, I wouldn't have the Ohio team. I wouldn't have the Tennessee team. I wouldn't have the Florida team. I wouldn't be having the New York team and the Boston, Massachusetts team coming up if it wasn't for TikTok. So there is good and there is bad on that app, just like any, actually.
Absolutely.
But again, I always tell people, if you have an organization that we do our vetting just as well, and we expect people to vet us. And I could say this, without certainty. I could say this without certainty. We are one of the heaviestly vetted nonprofits on TikTok. Some of the biggest creators on there have vetted the shit out of us, because before they had fundraisers or had us involved in something they were doing, they wanted to know we were legit. So I had many I told everybody right up front, here it is. Here's where I'm at. Here's where I was. Well, you make your own decision. And again, we used to do, so we do our outreaches every third Saturday. We just had ours today. We got 2 veterans we're working on. If you go to fsbinc.org or our Facebook page, you can read about it.
Oh, speaking of which.
Yes.
I wanted to call you out on something, and I wanted to do it live because I wanted you to understand exactly how I am about this. I get last week you said you'd come on and you apologized about it, but you were working. I'm okay with that. This podcast is not as important as the ones you help. Those are the guys, just like your phone call you had. Those people come way before any podcast. I could do the marketing for it. Believe me, I can market the fuck out of you.
Right.
I can pull out everything and prove what you guys do.
Right.
So you just keep doing the good work you do. I'm very proud of what you do. I'm very proud to actually be able to endorse it because I believe in it.
Right. Well, we appreciate that. And again, we used to, back in the day, we used to go live on TikTok during the outreach. Now we stopped doing that because we got booted a bunch of times, because when you get certain veterans because again, when you're dealing with a homeless veteran, you don't know if they're out there because of economic reasons, drug and alcohol, being off their regular meds. Right.
Or whether they're hiding from someone.
Right. Or
like me.
Exactly. Now, we would, and again, one thing you'll always notice, if you scroll all the way through our thing, you'll never see their faces. I never use somebody as a prop, because I was used as a prop and I didn't appreciate it. So we might show a picture from the backside by the trailer or something like that, but not their faces. Now, there are a few exceptions, because they asked to have their picture taken because they were so happy somebody was doing it. And I said, are you sure? Because I'm going to put this on social media. Yes, please do. It's okay. Others, we had one guy who didn't want to be put on, and I said no. And there's a reason one of our volunteers is no longer allowed. Now, we're all volunteers, but I have a volunteer who's not allowed because she took a picture of a homeless veteran and posted his picture on social media on her Facebook. And he got really upset, not with me, but he found out about it because he's like, my kids did not know I was homeless. His kids were in their 20s, but he was too ashamed to tell them that he was homeless. And he found out because she had an open profile. So,
here's my philosophy about that. And, this is kind of dealing with military veterans, anyways. They're what they did in the military. There are things such as black ops, and we have security security clearances for a reason.
Yep.
Whether or not that we know or we don't know the reason that they want to be plastered on social media, that's not for us to know.
Right.
But if somebody says, I don't want my picture on there, hey,
right.
I would like to address something real quick. Mohawk actually was probably, in my opinion, he was actually one of the best Miltalk creators that I ever came across. Okay. And how me and Mohawk actually met was actually me actually defending him, or actually defending someone that had commented on one of his videos. that didn't quite understand it. And the only reason why I was able to actually defend, it was actually his dad. The only reason I was able to defend him is because my dad does the same thing to me, which I call him out all the time. He's my y'all got haters that don't even know you. My biggest troll is my dad. My dad will call me out on anything, like anything. So, but I knew what I kind of knew
Right.
what his dad was where he was kind of going, and his dad was getting attacked. So that's how I met him. Is I more or less put a stop to it and was like, look, guys, you guys don't get it. His generation versus our generation, two total different generations. Yeah. So, but ever since then, me and Mohawk's been a friend of mine ever since, and someone I can confide in.
Well, again, and I gave up most of TikTok. We just do our lives. I throw a video up here and there. My backup account, which was our FSB backup account, has become my personal account because I've had some shit I wanted to say, and that's my CBO_Chaz. That's my backup account. I've made a video, and again, I've always said I'll never call anybody out by name, but boy, I laid it out there. And I still get comments from people still messaging me, still texting me.
Who is it? Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, I will never tell you the names of the people that video just called out.
Nope.
They know who it is. Because again,
some people are pretty good at guessing, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. But be impeccable with your word. It means a lot to me. If you tell me you're doing something and you don't do it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give you the opportunity to tell me you're going to do something again. Now, I gave this other person 2 opportunities because they're a influencer.
Yep.
But no more. I don't give a shit if they
showed up. I told you what I did.
If they showed up on my doorstep and said, "Hey, let's go handle it now," I'll say, "No, you go handle it, and you do what you said you're going to do and bring it back."
I'll say this:
I'm not going to hold my breath, though.
There are certain people I will not put up with, and one, I'm very open. I'm very open about being a Christian. Okay,
right.
So one of the things I do take a high disrespect for is when someone uses the religion I have faith in,
right,
as a reason to put someone down. I don't believe in that.
See, as a
using my religion to abuse and manipulate people is fucking wrong. And I'm gonna say I see Christians do it every fucking day, and it pisses me off.
Oh, yeah.
Every day.
And it's funny because I always say I know some people who are like that. I know the Joel Osteen types in person, and I'm like, wow, you just said that about somebody. It's like, what kind of person are you? I'm like, you have more hate in your heart, and you call me, you call me a heathen or whatever you call me because I don't subscribe to any religion, and it's my personal choice, and just like I don't give a crap what you believe in, as long as you're a good person and you have a good heart or you try to do good, I'm happy. You know what I mean? If it makes you happy, then that's good. If it brings you joy in your life, that's good. You just have to be able to not be a hypocrite.
I think the biggest thing I hate is fake people. If you're gonna be fake, be fake somewhere else, because I ain't got time for you. As I've said multiple times, I am who I am. I don't give a fuck if I'm on the internet or if I'm here. You can ask Tuvets. He's about the only one that's probably actually met me in person. Cassie, she's another viewer. She's met me in person. I am no different here, TikTok, anywhere than I am in real life. In fact, I am probably less here than I am in real life because I can't just reach through the fucking screen and choke someone.
Right.
In real life, you say something negative to me, I'm probably gonna hurt you, or at least try. But that's just who I am. You say something wrong, I'm gonna call you out on it, and I'm gonna put you in your place. You do it again, I'll do it again. I'll put you in your place. Third time, guess what? I believe in 3 strikes. 3 strikes, you're knocked the fuck out. But I just, it is actually almost 10:30, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to wrap this up. Guys, remember, if you're in a dark fucking spot, make that choice. Make that choice. You're either going to stay there and be happy there, or you're tired of being there and you're going to get the fuck out of there. That's it. I tell people if they say something and they think it's about, if I say something and think it's about them, it probably is. But I stopped reading comments on social media. I believe that. Like I said, you can either allow your trauma to be a reason you don't succeed or be the reason to build and succeed. That's it. Tuvez, you got anything you want to say, FSB or Chaz?
Just again, thank you for having me on. If anybody,
I liked having you on.
If anybody, knows if somebody needs help, no matter what state they're in, reach out to me. If you have ideas for us, reach out to me. If if you have a relation to Elon Musk and you can get him to write us a check,
reach out to
me because our goals come with a cost. And again, with us being 100% all volunteer nonprofit, we don't pull in the millions of dollars. We don't have the budget to put on commercials on TV. All we have is word of mouth.
I'm gonna say this
is you go to our website, take a look at our website. If you believe in our mission, if you believe in what we do, help spread the word. Share
if
it on
y'all
TikTok.
can get a hold of Donald Trump or Elon Musk or Joe Rogan, please get a hold of me too. But let them know about him. But I got a veteran that has a story that will blow this whole country's mind. I'm just saying. So if y'all can get a hold of Joe Rogan for me, tell him to get a hold of me. I promise you, it will open your eyes to a whole nother world.
And then just the last thing I want to say is, as I end all our TikTok lives, the 4 agreements, I end every one of my lives like this. And I try to impound it into people's brains. The 4 agreements: be impeccable with your word. Do not take things personally. Do not make assumptions, and always do your best.
Yep.
Man, I couldn't have said it better myself. I'm gonna have to.
I think we should leave off that one.
I need to get a copy of that. But so I'm just gonna go ahead and jump in.
Close it out.
We enjoyed seeing you today. Don't forget to be awesome and know you're loved. And until next time.
Abracadabra.